There's the medication I need to get through the day. Hey, Doyle, man. Yeah, we've been checking out the Earth Day live stream, but we're going to go from talking about nature to going out and standing in it in a few minutes. But before we did, I wanted to go over some of the stuff that we had to do last night to make our food safe. Hey, hun.
Eh.
I'm making a video about the stuff we have to do to keep our food safe. Will you come help me? Oh, shit. Come here.
Oh.
I'll come back to you. Alright, now first, when we come in the door, we can't just put the food away. We have to unload all of the contaminated food over here. We have to assume that it's contaminated, whether we are sure that it is or not, just to prevent ourselves from possibly getting sick by something that who might have been infected touched. Yep, all that mess. Try to ignore that. Our recycling is kind of piling up with the recycling center closed. Um, Now, when it comes to stuff like this, we have to just sanitize the outside. We have to get one of these here, soak it with bleach, and just rub it all over. But when it's stuff that's like individually wrapped, we have to take all of the packaging. We have to pull it off. We have to throw it all away. That can is just full of food wrappings. Yeah, it's kind of a mind blower how much packaging is wasted on our food that we just throw out as soon as we get it. It's a relief now. It's a necessity at the moment, but the rest of the time, why bother? I mean, uh, everything that came in packages that were hard to wipe on the outside, this I got before the outbreak, so I didn't have to sanitize it, but stuff like this, we had to take it all out, put it all into Ziploc bags. Got jerky, got some Micanites for Jay, he can't have chocolate. Had to pull the cereal out of the box. And these we had to rub down with bleach, one at a time.
Yeah.
These, luckily, were already wrapped up in separate packaging, but there were some that were exposed that we had to clean off, too.
Yeah. Fortunately, there was only 4 that we had to wipe off.
And wrangling these to be able to wipe the bottoms of them and get the sides and everything, then move it over here to our sterile surface that we washed down with bleach before we started. It's not sterile now because the cat's been walking all over it, but it was at the time.
Yeah.
It's a real pain, and it really wears out your arms.
Yeah. In the past week, my big toe on my right foot has been hurting, so it was even harder for me to stand up and do it all.
Yeah, just transferring stuff back and forth and back and forth. And then having to wash up. You just really lather yourself down to be able to put everything away. And whenever you accidentally touched a piece of the packaging, you had to wash again. Look how red my hands are. Still red from last night.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you were saying earlier, it's amazing how much waste is produced by boxed foods because the garbage can in the garbage bag in that garbage can was basically empty when we started, and it's almost full again.
Yeah, and that's after we flattened everything.
Yeah.
So, and the whole process took us like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even get that much yesterday. We were just restocking the few things that had run out. It still cost us a lot, but
Yeah.
it was $80 instead of 150. Last night, it was a fairly efficient affair in comparison.
Yeah. I mean, like last week,
And then when we're done, we have to like cover the whole table with choking clouds of this industrial-sized can of Lysol. I mean, we're lucky enough to even have Lysol. It is so hard to find.
Yeah, especially for that can, $10.
Boodle's like, who cares? Look at me!
Silly cat.
Yes, he is. That red wadded up cloth back there is normally on the table, but since we're, keeping that open just to be able to put our product on. We don't have to wash that thing over and over again. It's old, it's fragile. It's just going to sit there in a bunch for a bit. Meanwhile, look at this table. The the Lysol's made it a bit sticky, so we're seeing a couple of dusty paw prints on there. We do keep the cats put away while we're disinfecting, so they don't have to breathe in like the chlorine bleach fumes or the Lysol, but
Yeah.
you know, after the dust settles, there's not much we can do. I'm going to have to polish this thing before our next trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boodle's all upset because he can't sit in his favorite window. It's getting hot, little man. I mean, summer's come and now we're all trapped in this house radiating body heat. We have to do what we can to keep the place cool. It's turned off for now because we're getting ready to leave the house. But the rest of the time, we have to have that there to get fresh air inside. Otherwise, we would suffocate on our own carbon dioxide, and it would be so nasty. I'm a little nervous to even be petting him because he got up here amongst all the food before I got a chance to put him away. And now I'm worried that his fur might become a vector. I'm worried that he might get sick. Cats can catch it. So I'm not only worrying about keeping this guy well, I'm worried about keeping this guy well. He's not worried about anything. Look at him. Cat in the summertime. Just spreading himself on out. Like a flasher in a fur coat. I better get the camera away from him before he decides to start bathing. Bathing most immodestly.
Yeah. Plus, we are still trying to figure out how he did this.
Yeah, that happened while we were sleeping. We still don't understand the way.
Yeah. No idea why. No idea how.
Well, I'm going to go back there and turn off my Earth Day stream. And after that, I suggest we hit the road. It's getting on towards late afternoon, and we want to get out there in plenty of time. It's a big graveyard that we're going to today, and we want to have time to explore all of it.
Yep.